Hi, Best Buds. It's Cathy with Cathy's Garden, and I'm so happy that you've joined me today. Today, we're going to make an envelope fold out for our junk journal. But first, let's have our shout out to Daggy, Annie, Unique Jewelry Design, Barbara, and Maxine. I appreciate each and every one of you. So this is what we're going to make today. Yes, I'm still using the polka dotted tissue paper. I love that stuff. I've got some pink ruffle here, a portfolio closure. I've got a little pearl on the end of the baker's twine. Let's open it up and see what's inside. Inside right here, we have a flap with some book page, and then this is what folds right on out, just like this. We have a nice little tuck spot. We have another tuck spot. We have 8 journaling pages. On the other side, we have another tuck spot. And we have one right here as well. So that's, oops, let's get this back in here. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 tuck spots with pieces of removable ephemera. This would be perfect for an add-on junk journal, maybe some happy mail, or even a nice small gift. Let me show you how I made it. Let me set this right over here. All right, so you want to start with an envelope. I coffee dyed mine. You don't have to coffee dye your envelope, but that's just a personal preference. This envelope is approximately 5.5 by 4 1/4. Let's begin. So what I want to do is I want to bring in a digital. Now this digital is from Ruby and Pearl X0, so I think it's Kisses and Hugs. All right, and it's from her French ledger. I'm going to take my envelope and I am simply going to open it up like this. I'm going to kind of see where do I want this. I really would like this to be on my flap. I'm really wanting this on my flap. So I think that means I need to place this about a half of the way up. So about a half of the way up right here. I'm going to hold this up to see if I can see that. Yeah, I think that's going to get it. I think if I do that, I'll be able to get that picture that I want. I'm using my art glitter glue, and I'm simply going to add my glue to the back of my envelope. So just adding my glue here. All the way around both sides of my little flap here. Let's do some in the center, all the way over to the edge. How do we do on this flap? A little bit more. All the way over to the edge. There we go. Now, let's see. I said about an inch up. Hopefully it's about right. I'm hoping it's about right here. I think it needs to be moved over just a little bit. I really want to catch that. Oh, let's just go with it. Okay, guys. Moving it too much, I'm going to end up with a problem. I can see that happening. Something will get buckled or maybe even rip. We don't want that. So wherever this lies, it's going to be just perfect. I'm going to bring in my scissors, and I am going to, you can hear me digging in my drawer over here. I'm going to just trim this out. Now, you know I like to trim things out. I personally find it easier to do it this way. If you like to cut yours perfectly to fit and then glue it on, then that's the way you should do yours. Alrighty, so almost have this done. I'm anxious to see how I did with getting that positioned. I think it's a little on the side, over on one side than the other. Yeah, it's over a little bit on the side. It's going to be okay. Just like I said, it's going to be just perfect. So now what I want to do is I want to take another digital. Now, you can use paper pads. You don't have to use digitals. This one is also from the exact same kit as before, the Ruby and Pearl Kisses and Hugs. And I'm going to turn my envelope like this. And what I want to do here is right here where this envelope, starts going down, I want to bring this down about a half an inch. So about right here, okay? So I brought it down about a half an inch. And that's where I'm going to start my glue. I'm going to put my glue right across here. I'm going to put my glue across the opening here of this envelope and all around the outside and fill in. And then I'm going to be laying my digital right here on that mark that I set. So that's a half an inch down from right here. And I'm going to be gluing this on just like this. I'm going to try to get it on the edge because we're going to be using this piece that we cut off right here at the bottom. This paper is approximately 8 inches by 10.5. And we are going to be using, like I said, that little piece right here. So I'm going to try to get this edge on the edge of my envelope. We'll see how close I can get. Let's begin by adding our glue straight across and then down this opening here. I'm going to add a little bit of glue underneath this little flap here. You don't have to do that. I'm just doing it. And then up here and then across, and then we're going to fill in. So adding my glue on the sides, filling in the area, and then across the bottom. Once again, filling in the area, and then down the side and filling the area in. Now we're going to bring that digital in, and we're going to do our very best to get it placed right here. Okay, I'm going to lay it this way. I think maybe I'll have better luck with getting it positioned on the edge, laying it down, pushing it over just a tad. I think it's a little bit crooked, but that's the way it's going to be. Okay. Gluing it on. Now, it's a pocket. We've made a pocket. We did not glue this pocket shut. We're going to fold. Okay. We're going to fold our paper up to where we just placed this paper. So I've already creased it because I have to fiddle with it pretty good to get it creased. So I'm folding this paper to match this edge right here. So I've done that. So it's going to leave us just like this. I want to trim off this part right here. Remember I said we're going to use it? So I'm going to hold it and trim this part off right like this. There we are. Trimmed it off. And I said we're going to hang on to this because what I want to do is I want to attach this to the bottom. Now I can either, I want it to be the print side up. Okay, so you really can't see that it's going to be a pocket, except for we're going to put notches in it. So because these two are the same width, we're going to just find the center, and then we're going to mark the center. And let's see here, where are we in the center? We're about right here. And I'm going to bring in my 1.5 inch hole punch, and I'm simply going to take a notch out, just like that. Now, what I want to do is I want to find the center of this small one right here. So I'm just going to lay it across right here, and then mark it. Simply mark it. And I'm struggling. Why am I struggling? So it's right here. Okay. Now I'm going to do the exact same thing, but because it's a single sheet, I really am going to look in my trash can to see. I've got this little piece. I'm going to stick it underneath, and then I'm going to take the notch out. it just keeps it from chewing. There we go. Nice clean cut. So now we have all our notches, and now I like to ink up everything. So I am truly going to ink up only this side, but this one I'm going to ink up all the way around. The back, the front, the envelope. Before I do that, we need to take a notch out of this portion right here. So just marking the center right here. And once again, because it's a single sheet of paper, I'm going to stick this in here, and I'm going to just take a notch out of that where I've marked it with my 1.5 inch hole punch. Slipping it in. It's moved on me underneath here. Where did you go? There you are. Getting it in here, and it keeps moving on me. There we go. We got it in now. Taking a little punch out. There we go. Now we've got our thumb notch right there. So like I was saying, I'm going to ink this up. But actually, before I do that, let's go ahead and fill this part up too. I've got a book page here. I think I've got 2. And I'm going to stick it. I think it's going to fit. Not quite. I need to even this up. This is very, very crooked. So I'm going to grab my larger guillotine, and I'm just going to trim it. So I'm barely taking, there we are. It's fairly straight now. Now let's see how we're doing about fitting it in here. It's going to be okay. I think we can do that. We could turn it this way and pop it in. Which way? Is it really going to bother me? This way? I don't think so. I always ask myself, is it going to bother you? I think it's going to be okay, even though it's got a wide, oh, well, is that going to bother me? You know what? I think I am going to put it this way. I really do think I am going to put it this way. And I'm going to mark it right here. I'm going to take this part off. The border. That's the word I couldn't think of. And I'm going to just cut it right there. So once again, I'm going to bring in my larger guillotine, and I'm just going to chop it right here. And then I'm going to chop it right here. And then we're going to see. I'm going to save this piece. I might need that. Let's see. How did we do in getting this to fit in? Not quite enough. I think I can bring my smaller one in now and see if I can't get it to fit. I still might not have taken enough. We'll see. Nope, I didn't think I did. Might as well take that whole sentence, right? Alrighty. So now let's see, how did we do? Well, I'm going to argue with it to get it in, and I don't want to argue with it because it's going to have glue on it, and adding the glue really makes it difficult to get it in. And then if it is already difficult because you've made it so tight, then you're going to have a hard time getting it in when you put the glue on it. So I'm just kind of looking to see where I'm going to stick it in there. Okay, so I'm going to take my art glitter glue once again, and I'm just going to place it on the edge and then somewhere in the middle like that. Now I'm going to pop it right back in. Hopefully I can get this in the way I want it. Pretty good. Let's press it down. Let's lift this up, and let's finish adding my glue right here. I find that to be an easier way to do it, so that's why I did it that way. Now you can put glue on all of it and then stick it in, but sometimes it's easier this way. Alrighty, so now I'm going to trim this out just like this. And as I was saying before, now I like to ink. If you don't ink, it is a personal preference. Then of course you don't need to do this next step. Oh, there's something else I have to do, and I forgot to say. These little flaps right here, we're going to remove them. We're going to remove them. So I'm going to just cut down the edge like this, and then cut it over like this. Okay. I'm going to do the exact same thing over here. I'm going to cut it down this way, and then I'm going to cut it over just a little bit more, and then cut it over. There we go. Oh yes, that looks lovely. All right, so I'm going to ink it up, and I'll be right back. All right, here I am with the piece that we cut off the bottom. I've inked up everything, and you know that it will only fit one way with the printed side up. So what I want to do is I want to glue this right on to the bottom right here. So let's do that right now. I'm going to lift it up. I'm doing it in sections. I'm going to add a little bit of glue on the fold, and then down the side and up the other side, and then I'm going to simply pop it on right here. And let's get it on there to where it bends and it's put in position properly. Sometimes things go awry, don't they? Okay, it's going to fit just fine right there. And then how are we doing on this one when that one fits there? Yeah, that one folds in. This. Okay, now I'm going to lift this up. Let's go this way so you can see. I'm going to add a little bit of glue on the bottom, and then right at the folded area, and then we're going to lay this one down. It needs to be able to fold correctly without buckling. That's important. Okay, got glue on my finger. Get that off. Did I get glue on the side? No. Okay. Now let's do this one. Just like that. Now you'll have a little corner here that you need to snip off. I just wiped off the glue that was on that corner, and I'm just going to kind of eyeball how my circle went with my circle punch. Something like that. That was pretty close. All right, so now we have our pockets in, and we've got our fold. Now this one's totally opposite of the one we just made. The one, I mean not we just made, the one I made. See, this one has the fold on this side. This one's going to have the fold on this side. It doesn't matter. Whichever way it works out for you, it's going to be perfect. So let's go ahead and let's start decorating. Now when I made my example, I decorated it, I folded it, and I went, egads, I probably should not have put this label right here. It kind of bothers me. It's kind of immaterial. I could cover it up with something, but I just left it because it is what it is. And that just taught me that I must remember that this is going to show right here. Whatever you put right here, if you put a decoration, it's going to show. So what I think I want to first do is I'm going to bring in my little box here. I have some coffee dyed lined book pages, and there are 4, so folded it makes it 8, and these are approximately 7 1/4 by 5 1/4 when they're opened up, and I folded them in half, and we are going to stick those right here for a little tiny signature. How cute is that, right? So I'm going to pin this in with my paper clips, and I'm just going to grab a couple, get these pinned in, just like that. I'm just kind of eyeballing how they're going to go, making them as even as possible on the borders on either side of the page. Maybe something like that would be good. Okay. Then I happen to have a little template. Now, if you've been with me any time at all, you know I make a template. No matter what size the journal I'm sewing in a signature, I always have a template. You make it about 1 inch across, the length of the journal itself. You fold it in half the long way. Then you fold it again, end to end, one more time, end to end. When you open it up, you mark your intersections of your folds, and that is your template. You place it right in the spine. You paper clip it down, or clip it however you anchor it. Then I'm going to bring in my little piece of packing paper. I'm going to bring my awl in. I'm going to bring my needle, and I'm going to bring my waxed book sewing thread. I'm going to measure my thread. 1, 2, 3. A little bit to grow on. Then I'm going to thread my needle. I'm going to take my awl. I'm going to pull my signature, my whole little booklet up. I'm going to turn it this way so I can see a little better. I'm going to take my awl, I'm going to stick it in one of the holes, or on top of one of the holes, holding my awl as straight as I can. I'm going to punch it through. I'm going to do this other one. Ooh, sorry about that noise. I'm going to do this one. So I did all 3. You're going to need to remove your little paper, your little sheet that tells you. I'm going to start in the middle. I sew so many signatures in. I just show you how I do it. It's very simple. You start in the middle, then you choose another one, then you pop it on down to the third one, the last one, then you go right back up to the center, right up through the middle, and it's moved a little on me, which happens sometimes. I'm going back down through it to see if I can find exactly where it's at. There it is. Now you want to end with one of the strings. They just went through each other. Hang on just a second here. You want one of the threads, shall we say, to be on one side of the center thread, and you want the other one to be on the other side of the center thread. So you want it to look just like this. Checking to make sure nothing's pulled, torn, or caught, and then simply tie your knot. Now, if you're not using wax thread, and you're using maybe, say, embroidery thread, you're going to need to keep your little signature open for a little bit, put a little dot of glue, just so that it won't work its way undone, because embroidery thread will work the knot undone. Alrighty, so we've got our little signature sewn in. How cute. And now we look just like this. Let's go ahead and let's talk about, maybe let's decorate a little bit. I think it needs a little bit of decoration. It's a little off-kilter here. So I'm just going to adjust it a little bit. I have some yellow lace, and I thought I would just put it on here just like that. So I'm going to open this up. I need to ink that right there, don't I? I forgot to do that side. So I'm going to open this up, and this is flat lace. It's not looking to see out. This is the right way. I'm going to start, as I throw it down, I'm going to start with a little bit of glue right here. I'm using my hot glue. It's quick, it's easy, it's great for videos. And then I'm just going to lay my lace on top, And I'm just going to, no, wait a second here. That's not the way I wanted to do it. I was listening to that police officer go by. Okay, I want to do it this way. Got a little discombobulated there. Alrighty, adding my glue and then adding my lace, and I'm simply going to gather it and push it down. Now I'm going to check to see, is that going to be too wide? That's pretty wide. We're going to do it anyway. It's going to be a big ruffle. So I'm doing a little bit of it at a time, because when using hot glue, you have to place your you got to use it while it's hot. I have a few people say, well, hot glue doesn't stick. Oh, yes, it does. You just have waited too long to lay your item down. It's not forgiving in that manner. When you release it from the hot glue gun, you better be ready to get whatever you want put on it, because it is going to dry quickly. And once it dries, then it's not going to stick what you want to stick on there. So that's the problem people have if they're finding that their hot glue isn't working. Either one, they haven't waited for the machine to heat up enough, but if it releases the glue, it's heated up enough. They're just waiting too long to place down their item. Okay, so we're just working our way down. Just takes a few moments gathering and pressing it down, and then putting your glue and gathering it and pressing it down like this. Okay, just a little bit longer here, further I should say. Almost done. Okay, and then that last little section right here. Wonderful. Wonderful. Alrighty, that is one big ruffle. Let's go ahead and let's give it a trim. I'm going to trim it off this way. I'm actually going to cut it this way. And then I'm going to trim it this way. So I'm going to take it off here, make it easier to deal with. Trim it down the side. Okay, and then trimming it there. Alrighty, there we go. Yeah, that is a big old ruffle on there. The next thing, I think what I want to do is where I put the polka dotted ribbon or the polka dotted tissue, I'm thinking maybe just some book page on this one. So I'm thinking that it might be nice to just add a little bit of book page. I think the color will go nicely. And I need to get a bigger pair of scissors here. So let's just give it a trim. And then I'm just going to trim down the edge here. And then I'm going to just lift this up and pop it right on there. I do like the book page. Alrighty, so I'm going to quickly run my ink at the edge. I'm going to, I think I want to pop it on about that. That's about 2 inches in. There's going to be plenty to get this area covered. So 2 inches in. Let's place it down like this. Do the edge. You use the glue that you want. I'm just using my art glitter glue. And then I'm going to simply lay this right on the top. There we go. Very nice. So now when it closes, it'll look like this. And when you open it up, well, that's upside down from there. It's going to be all right. That's for a junk journal, right, guys? my inside flap is not right side up. Okay, got that done. I like that. I think that looks good. So I'm just going to run, once again, I'm going to ink up this area right here. And I'm going to open this up and ink up this. Already inked that up before I glued it down. Oh yes, that looks lovely. Now, the next thing, let's talk about a closure. We're going to need a closure here. So, where did I put my closure things? Oh, you hear Frankie Francine. She's chirping. I don't have my white noise machine on. Hang on, let me see what she needs, because I don't have my white noise machine on, so you're going to really be able to hear her. All right, so in this little bowl, I have some UV resin covered circles, but I also have some, I didn't like the color of those. I have some of these. Now these are from digitalcollage.com, and they fit my 1-inch circle punch nicely. I think I might be able to find one here in the color that I will like, maybe. Where did I see one earlier that I thought, I like this one. That one's going to look nice. Okay, let's lay that there. There's this one, that's different. And then there's this one. All right, let's pop this one out. So I'm just placing it in there, popping it out. Okay, and then where was the other one? Was it this one? Yeah, let's pop this one out too. And then we can see which one might work a little bit better. Now you're also going to need some kind of heavier cardstock. And this is just out of a piece of package of something. And I'm going to get I'm going to get 4 because I don't know which one of those circles, and you're going to need 2 of them. So this right here is on cardstock. That one's sweet, but I'm thinking maybe something a little, I don't know what to do, guys. I don't know which one I like better. Let's ink it up. Maybe that will help. I'm sorry this video is going a little long than I usually do. I think I want the yellow. So I'm going to take my art glitter glue. I'm going to add my glue onto the circle, adding my circle, the decorative one, right on, and just making sure it's glued on nicely, just like that. And then while this is drying, I'm going to set it right there and let it dry. Let's talk about doing a little bit of decorating. I've got a butterfly right here, and I thought, maybe we could put the butterfly right there. And then, you know, I saved that little piece of book page. Maybe we can tear a little bit of book page out and ink up the edges just a little bit, and then pop it right on, maybe just like that. Maybe over to the side a little. Yeah. So I'm going to grab my art glitter glue, adding my glue onto here. Maybe about right there. Didn't glue all my butterfly down, I should have. Then I'm going to add my glue to the back of my book page and simply pop it right on here, just for a little bit of a collage, right? Now remember, this is the one that's going to show when we close it. So I'm going to pop over to this one, and how about if we add maybe just a label Oh, that one looks good. Let's pop that one on right there. Now these labels are by J. Lee Lou. I'll list that shop down below. Then I thought I had a little, yeah, I do. It's in a dark yellow. I thought that this little bow, it's a Shabby Dabby Doodah bow, I thought it would be really sweet to pop it right here. I used one in my example and I thought it was really sweet. All right, we got that on there. Now, do we want anything right here? I just don't think so. We've got our lace ruffle coming out so much that I think that will be fine. Unless possibly you want a little label right here. So let's bring in our disc. I think it's dry enough. Well, we could do that. That's going to be okay if we want that like that. I don't like that one. Oh, there's one more right here. I like that one any better? Almost like it needs something, but I don't think that's it. Okay, so let's get this done. So you've got your disc, you've got another disc, and you're going to put them together like this. I'm going to grab my hole punch, and I'm simply going to punch a hole, and use my smaller hole, right in the center, as best you can, of both of them. I'll do both at the same time. There we are, just like that. Now you're going to need a, oh dear, here it is, one of these little brads. And you're going to put your two discs together, stick your brad through the hole, open it up. Okay, got that open. Now you're going to apply your glue to the back of your brad. Sorry about the glue on my fingers if that makes somebody twitch. And glue it right in the position that you want it. Hold it down so it gets glued on nicely. And then I'm also thinking that, even though I'm thinking we might want a butterfly on here. And I don't know if I have one small enough. There's a white one. I need something on here, but I don't know what it is. Okay, let's go. Let's wait. And that wasn't it. So I've got my baker's twine. I'm going to put my baker's twine between the two discs. And I'm going to tie a knot in the direction in which I'm going to pull my twine. And I'm going to pull it this direction. So I'm simply going to tie a knot right here, tie another, do another one, make sure it's secure, give it a trim, and then I'm just going to go around and then around the disc. And then I'm going to leave myself a little bit because I have a pearl right here, and I'm going to pop it in the hole, and then I'm going to put it to about right there is where I want it, I think. Back in the hole. I have to pull it tight so I can get it in the hole. Came out of that way, I got to go in this way. There we are. There we are. Now I'm going to tie a knot right here and tie a knot. Now I am going to, before I'm finished, I'm going to need to put glue on this knot, because if I don't, it's liable to work its way unknotted and then you will lose your pearl. So I will put another knot, put some glue on the bottom of this to hold it. Let's go ahead and let's open it back up. And let's fill it full of a few things. I've got a few little digitals here. Now, they're from all different places. This is going to be part of the decoration, and ooh, our glue really spread there, didn't it? Let's see if we can get it in. I'm trimming it a little. Yeah. No, it's not going to be part of your decoration. All right, so opening it up, we've got this one. So maybe this one might be sweet to pop it in here, like that. I've got a little bigger one. I think that's too big. That's too big too. How about this lady? Oh, she's got a beautiful dress. Now this one came from digitalcollage.com. I do remember that. I think this is My Porch Prints. That might be beautiful stuck into that the envelope pocket. Alrighty. And then, of course, if you want to do any more decorating, something's got to be done about that spot right there. I'll have to figure that out to see what can be done there. But I do think these have turned out lovely. If you've enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. I invite you to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in my next video. I'll see you there, guys. Bye now.